If you put $1,000 away at age 25 and never add another dollar, you could have over $21,000 by retirement without doing anything. How is that even possible? That is compound interest, and in the next 6 minutes, I am going to show you exactly how it works. Picture a snowball at the top of a hill. It starts small, just a handful of snow, nothing impressive. That's your principal, the original amount of money you set aside, whether it's $1,000 or $25. As the snowball rolls, it picks up a thin coat of fresh snow every time it turns. That's your interest rate, the percentage your money earns every cycle. But here is where the magic happens. The more often the snowball rolls, the more layers it can pick up. That's compounding frequency. If interest is added once a year, your snowball grows at a steady pace. If it's added every month, or even every day, those layers start stacking up faster. Let's clear up what these words mean, because they're the keys to how compound interest works. Principal is your starting money. Interest rate is how much you earn, usually shown as a percent per year. Compounding frequency is how often those earnings are added back in, so your next round of interest gets calculated on a bigger pile. Think of the snowball. Principal is the core. Interest rate is how thick each new layer is, and frequency is how many times you get to add a layer. You don't need a huge sum to get started. Even $25 a month, left to grow at a 7% annual rate, can turn into about $65,700 over 40 years. That's not a typo. It's the power of compounding. Small amounts, given enough time and the right conditions, can become something massive. That's how compound interest explained in plain English can feel like a cheat code for how to grow money. And it's why investing for beginners doesn't have to be intimidating, because the most important part is just getting the snowball rolling. Let's put real numbers to this idea and see how money actually grows over time. Say you set aside $1,000 and leave it alone to earn a 7% annual return. After 10 years, that snowball has grown to about $1,967. Double the time to 20 years, and it is now $3,870. At 30 years, you are looking at $7,612. That's more than 7 times your starting amount, all from simply letting your money work for you. Here's a shortcut that makes this even easier: the rule of 72. Take the number 72 and divide it by your interest rate. That is about how many years it takes for your money to double. At 7%, 72 divided by 7 is a little over 10. So every 10 years, your money doubles. $1,000 becomes $2,000, then $4,000, then $8,000. It is not magic. It is just math that feels like a superpower once you see it in action. But there is a catch that trips up a lot of beginners. Even a small fee, say 1% per year, can slow things down more than you would expect. With a 6% return instead of 7%, that $1,000 only becomes about $5,743 after 30 years. That is nearly $2,000 lost to fees. The lesson? Every percentage point matters. When you understand how compound interest works, you start to see why low fees and time are your best friends for how to grow money. Alex and Sam both wanted to grow their savings, but they took different paths. Alex started early, putting away $2,000 a year for just 12 years, stopping after a total of $24,000 in contributions. Sam waited, then began saving $2,000 a year for 36 years, a much longer stretch, adding up to $72,000 in total contributions. Both earned an annual return of 7%, and both left their money untouched until age 65. Here's the twist. Alex, who started first and stopped early, ended up with about $263,900 by retirement. Sam, who saved 3 times as much but started later, finished with around $244,000. The difference is not just a few dollars, it's nearly $20,000 more for Alex, despite contributing far less. That's compound interest explained in real life. The earlier your money starts working, the more it multiplies on its own. The cost of waiting is not just missing out on extra years, it's missing the years when your money could be earning returns on top of returns. There's no single right answer for where to put your money, but here are 4 common places where compound interest can work for you. A high-yield savings account is the simplest option. Your money is safe, insured by the FDIC up to $250,000, and it earns a steady rate, usually around 4 to 5%, with daily compounding and easy access for emergencies. Index funds, or ETFs, like those tracking the S&P 500, let you buy a tiny piece of hundreds of companies at once. Over decades, they have averaged about 7 to 10% per year, but the ride can get bumpy. Returns go up and down, so patience matters. A Roth IRA is a special retirement account where your money grows tax-free. You put in after-tax dollars, and if you follow the rules, every penny you earn can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement. No taxes on your gains, ever. Then there is the 401k, a workplace plan that lets you invest pre-tax money, often with a matching contribution from your employer. That match is instant free money, and both your contributions and the match compound until retirement. Every one of these has its own rules, risks, and fees, so always read the fine print and know that returns are never guaranteed. But the biggest mistake is waiting for the perfect choice. Getting started is what makes compound interest work its magic. Right now, time is your biggest asset. Every day you wait, the snowball shrinks. Start small. Just start. Want to know where to put your first $1,000? Check the next video.